Hello everyone and welcome to the Module 1. So this day we are going to focus on some essential and basic issues about globalization. In addition, we are going to discuss advantages and disadvantages of this concept for humanity as well. So, before we start, we definitely need to look at some basic definitions of globalization and what it is. Well, first of all, it is perhaps the topic of the age. Globalization means different things to different people. This is the process whereby the world's people are becoming increasingly interconnected in all phases of their lives, such as cultural, economic, political, technological, and environmental. There are various definitions of globalization. According to some certain dictionaries, the concept of globalization is defined as the development of an increasingly integrated global economy, marked especially by free trade, free flow of capital, and the tapping of cheaper foreign labor markets. Basically, guys, you definitely need to know some history and background of globalization. Since ancient times, people have been in the pursuit of new opportunities and territories for settling and trading due to the advances in the field of transportation and technologies. That's why there have been three main waves of globalization, and the timeline is provided over here. So the first wave was targeted at global integration. So as you see, the essential dates are given. The second wave was promoted by the Industrial Revolution, having resulted in passage of the multinational companies to the global markets. So the final wave, this basically is all the kind of certain stuff that you see in present. It is driven by global cooperation on the basis of a worldwide fiber optic network as well as the development of various applications and software. Right now, let's just focus on some advantages of globalization, and we will consider some lenses separately. Just a bit later, for your information, we have to be able to look at some lenses. And over there, guys, hopefully you will understand what the economic or some other lenses are. So, the first one is the economic lens. So as you see, the first point is about the possibility to exchange the goods internationally. So the second one is about free trades, which is targeted to decrease the barriers between the countries such as tariffs, value-added taxes, subsidies. The third one is about the same, but there is a kind of, just the kind of moment that you need to highlight for yourselves. So, this is considered to be a trigger of economic development as it enhances job creation, competition, and consumer satisfaction. So, and the final one is about the level of poverty and unemployment by means of international investments and technological support. So definitely globalization will help to reduce some issues about poverty and hunger and unemployment as well. So the next one is the political lens and some advantages about that. So first, globalization reinforces democracy, including the colonialist model. The second one is globalization unites the power sector, transforming them into a world power. It results in the merging of politics, influencing political decisions and their targets. The third point is about, one more time, international and financial support globally. And the final one, globalization allows governments to borrow useful experience from each other, exchanging experience. Isn't it great? So, social advantages of globalization. So, first of all, globalization unites people all over the world. Globalization ensures a more profound comprehension of foreign cultures, traditions, and values. So, in the next one, it has promoted the development of people's openness and tolerance to each other. Basically, guys, we definitely need to look at some disadvantages as well. So over here, we see the economic disadvantage. So just previously, we were able to consider some advantages by the economic lens. Right now, let's just do not certainly the same thing. Globalization leads to a struggle for competition. Globalization can result in economic collapse for a developing country, making it poorer. So, for example, as you see, using the cheap labor force of developing countries such as in China. So as you see, many companies in developed countries, they do the same procedure. So that's why it may lead to some disadvantages, unfortunately. Well, the next one is globalization can cause a global imbalance, as multinational companies have more bargaining power than local ones. Political disadvantages of globalization. Well, globalization is considered to be similar to the processes of industrialization and colonization. I just, I just wanted to say colonizing. I'm really sorry about that. As it can provide one country with more power than others. Well, this is basically the problem. The next one is about some countries might participate in the decision-making process. It is more difficult to achieve proper cooperation and coordination, of course, being expensive and not always effective. Well, unfortunately, nowadays, some of these certain details might happen all around. Well, and the final one is the cultural disadvantages of globalization. Globalization leads to the spreading of consumer culture all over the world. Globalization can cause the elimination of cultural diversity and leads to cultural homogenization. As a result of globalization, a number of countries can be deprived of their natural features, values, and traditions. Globalization can lead to cultural imperialism. And the final one, globalization can become a trigger for the fast spreading of dangerous ideas such as terrorism. Well, that was the end. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching it. And don't forget to complete some issues about the testing yourself.